Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to the videos of the paid requests. This time for Ash. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And this is for a film, a French film called Barracuda from 1997, which I'd never heard of before. But it's pretty much a French version of Misery, in a way. And the movie at times, it does come off like a weird fever dream. And overall, I didn't mind it for what it was, because I thought the performances were pretty well done. Definitely has some decent visual directing choices by the director. It's not a film I would watch again. It's definitely not as good as Misery, but it was interesting at least. Because you have this artist named Luke. He moves in with his lady friend who's pregnant, going to start a life together. There's a neighbor nearby named Clement, who is an older guy. Seems like a very nice guy. Seems like a very genuinely sweet guy. He's a big Fred Astaire fan, but you realize he got some issues. He got some problems. Because one time Clement invites Luke over. Oh, hey, let me introduce you to my wife. But Clement's wife is a fucking mannequin. And by the time he tries to get out of there, nope, he's knocked out. He's tied to the bathroom sink. And it goes from him to being tied to the sink, to being tied to his bed, to having this whole secret room for him. And it's pretty much this old guy who you tell is very, very lonely. He talks to the mannequin as if she's real. He has arguments with her where she wants him out, and he's like, no, I mean, no, actually, he's like, oh, we should let him go, and like she says you can't. And it's about a guy who's just really, really lonely, and you get the idea that he always wanted a kid and he never had a kid, so this is kind of his way of having a kid. And does some visual things where there are times it'll go into a alternate, like what if, like for example, he thinks the guy Luke is hurt and dying, so he's going to call the fire brigade. But then he imagines they get there and the guy would tell fire the firemen, and shit would hit the fan. Or there's a bit where Luke is in the bathroom and he imagines like breaking it and flooding the whole place and getting help and getting the fuck out of there. But then it doesn't really happen. That was kind of different to see kind of these what ifs play out. Because there's not a whole lot of movies of this nature that does that a ton of times. But you tell this guy, like, I keep saying he's very lonely, and he a lot of times is treating the guy well, as in he's being complimentary or he's trying to feed him. And I talked to Mr. Fred Astaire. You made him happy. You're doing so good. And so, what would you like to eat for dinner? Would you like to eat this, or I could make some potatoes, or I could do this and this and this. And it's a guy that again still seems like a sweet guy. It's just that he's doing this bad thing because he's just way too lonely and way too off his fucking rocker. He's either dancing with the mannequin. He puts the Luke guy in this red room. At first, the guy's trying to tell him that she's a mannequin. Then the guy tries to pretend to talk to her to go into this sick guy psyche. And says she's saying she wants me to leave. And then he's trying to play off the guy's emotions, like, okay, you said you want me to be happy, right? Well, I just need to see. I have a person I love as well. I need to see her. I promise I'll be back. Like, playing to the guys, again, his loony bin fantasy world this guy's making up in his head of wanting this Luke guy as his son. And they do this weird thing, weird, interesting thing where I wouldn't say I felt sympathy for this older guy, but at the same time, there's a kernel of it that I did. And they kind of kept that throughout, where, I mean, the whole thing is going over the line, but there's still certain things he does where he's, in a weird way, not completely evil. For example, he threatens the guy with a gun. Spoiler alert, he threatens the guy with a gun, but then you realize it's a water gun. And Luke is pissed, like he put himself in this shackle, thinking it was a gun. It wasn't, he was tricked, so he's pissed off about that. Or you think, rightfully so, that Clement invited Luke's girlfriend, pregnant girlfriend, by, and it looked like she was strangled. And of course, that really breaks the guy's spirit. But this was kind of a weird thing with the story where it was a bit luck, or a bit, I guess, like they say with a lot of bad guys, you just have to wait for that one big mistake they make and then take advantage of it. In this case, it's given the guy a TV to watch. So the guy's watching the news and sees that, wait a minute, his girlfriend is still alive. Because Clement had put this TV in and showed footage of him strangling his wife, or his girlfriend, I should say. But it's like, no, his girlfriend is alive, and she wishes that he could come home, and I hope we can find him, and he needs to beat his baby, and that gives him more of the vigor again. And we, the audience, then see what had truly happened, that she was drugged, and he had made it seem like it. Which I guess on one end is kind of smart on that guy's part, because that way, if she had told people where she had gone, then they'd be looking for her. But A, to break this guy's spirit, to hopefully be more of his son and stay there and not want to leave, but also not have to worry about where to put this body and all this other stuff. So in a way, that was smart of him to do. I will say I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that he had tricked the guy. I'm like, oh, okay, so technically he still hasn't killed anybody, but at the same time he's too much of a sicko fuck that it makes sense why at the end of the day our lead character finds the way to beat the shit out of the guy, get the fuck out of Dodge, and then when the guy's chasing after him, he closes the bookcase and it hits the guy in the head. I guess hard enough to kill him instantly. Like I said, the way the older guy played Clement, the way his performance showcased, where he was just so upbeat and happy about the whole situation, really wanted to make this work. Some of the color schemes used, whether it be some of the little fantasies the captive would go into to try to get out of his mind out of this situation, or again the older guy dance with the mannequin, or him seeing this like weird version of Fred Astaire talking to him. Like I say, it does have a kind of a weird dreamlike quality to it, which I could appreciate. I do think the acting was pretty good. But like I say, it felt a bit, we need to find a way to end the story. How do we do it? Okay, for some reason, I'm going to give him a TV, and you would think, okay, I'll just show you Fred Astaire movies, since you love Fred Astaire, since the other guy loves Fred Astaire so much. To be able to have, not just have cable, but then at that right moment, at that right time, to see that right news program that his girlfriend happened to be on, which then gives him the motivation to come out of his stupor and fight back. It felt a bit too convenient, but I guess they had to find a way to get him into that part of it. I don't know. I mean, it's delved into the insanity of loneliness that will maybe affect some people. And they said while they're, I didn't mind the film. There's something does a part of me that wonders if this would work better as a short film than a full length film. I didn't. You're reminded of Misery, and Misery just had a bit more oomph to not just the performances, but the finale, where you really see James Caan do what he can to overtake Kathy Bates' character, and does his laser broken, so you even more focus on him, and even more suspense. That's the thing. I don't really feel a sense of suspense in this movie, or even a sense of horror in this movie. I don't know if it's meaning to be fair. That might not be its purpose. Like I said, because the villain has such this upbeat nature and wanting to make his captive happy and such. Like I said, there's never moments that made me think. Well, maybe one moment. Well, two moments. One when he shows the TV when we think that he's killed the lead guy's pregnant girlfriend, and number two, quickly after, our lead guy smashes the mannequin and kills. And then the old man snaps out and goes, what was the line? Never mind. She's only plastic. And that even throws the lead guy for a loop because the guy was so adamant that this is a mannequin, that this mannequin is his wife, but now he says, oh, it was just a plastic. So then that makes you even more confused as to where this guy's mindset is. Like, he knows this is a mannequin, but at the same time, he's talking to his wife, but at the same time, he accepts it. But on the flip side, he's having these conversations, like, it's speaking back to him. But if you're supposed to, are we supposed to understand a crazy person? That's why they're fucking crazy in the first place. So it's interesting. It was an interesting watch. Definitely a low-key movie, mostly taking place in this one one home of this older guy. Like I said, I think the performance definitely made it work, and some of again the visual storytelling of the director. Again, I keep repeating that dreamlike quality. Like I said, the ending, it's not like a big fight, it's not like a big battle. This is pretty much the guy comes in with some food and he gets slammed and punched a few times. Tries to leave, the guy lunges, slams the bookcase. End of story. There's a party that goes, oh, well, that's what it built up to? Okay. Like, you compare it to Misery and you compare it to, hitting her with the stuffing the paper in her mouth, and you like it, you eat it, and tripping her and she falls right on the typewriter. Really good effect too, where the dummy or whatever they use, that you really feel the impact. Like I said, I think Rob Reiner definitely showcased more of a suspense in that movie compared to this. Like I said, I don't know if that was ever the intention, this movie to be suspenseful, but if it was, it didn't work. So, like I said, it's not as good as Misery, but if you want to see a movie in the vein of Misery, I think it's still at least worth one watch. It is on YouTube for free. It is in French, but on the YouTube thing, if you click on the closed caption, you can watch it with subtitles. So it is on there. So I'm going to watch it at least once. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.